As you know, I'm a basketball referee. I used to referee down at the Kingston Pen. And so I got a speech last week. Marie and I, my wife, went down to the Kingston Pen so I could rehearse this speech. And if anybody's hearing it for the second time, at the end, I got to tell you Marie's evaluation of this speech. If you really want to succeed during these turbulent times, there's no substitute like being innovative with a positive attitude. I invented a product, the Fox 40, and I had 2 prototypes and a debt of $150,000. I loved them. They were ultrasonic, 3-chamber, P-less whistles, shiny, beautiful. Got assigned to work the Pan American Games in Indianapolis, went down there, checked into the dormitory where 400 referees live, and I put the 2 whistles under my pillow. If you had 2 whistles worth $75,000, they'd be under your pillow. And I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning with 400 referees sleeping in this dormitory. I put my heels up against the wall and I go like that. 400 referees came running. All you could see was white underwear. They said, "What is it?" I said, "What is it?" "It's a Fox 40. Can we buy it?" "Nope. They're on back order." That next day on a picnic table, I sold 20,000 Fox 40s at $6 US. The exchange then was great, 32%. I made my $150,000. Today, we sell 40,000 Fox 40s every day in 100 countries, and every single whistle for 22 years has been made in Canada by Canadians. I bought a business, Fluke Transport, with no money. I found Fluke Transport, 3 brothers, Bob, Joe, and Sam Fluke, with the famous slogan, "If it's on time, it's a fluke." They weren't using the slogan. And I found out they wanted money for their company. So here's where I learned the lesson where you have to look for the deal button, the hot button. I knew Bobby Fluke. And I said, "Bobby, other than money, what do you want?" Because I'm looking for the deal button. He said, "I want a job for life." I said, "Okay, what are your interests?" He said, "Well, I basically have 3 interests: trucking, women, and more women." I said, "You sound great to me. You got a job for life. But here's the deal. Here's the deal button. You have to convince your 2 brothers to take the money for the company over time." He said, "Done." So I got Fluke Transport by looking for the deal button. I founded a warehouse company with no money. I went out and found this building, 250,000 square feet, called Allen Industries. And it was owned by a fellow named Mr. Jacobs from Dayton, Ohio. They called him Dick Jacobs, Big Dick. So I called Mr. Jacobs and I said, "You've got a building in Hamilton, 250,000 square feet. It's costing you $1 million to operate it." And he said to me, "Sonny boy, tell me something I don't already know." I said, "Well, I'd like to rent 1 corner of it, 43,000 square feet. He said, "Done." Now I'm into warehousing. No money. You should never let money stand in the way of motivation. So one day I get a call from Big Dick. And he said to me, "Fox, are you using more than 43,000 square feet in my 250,000 square foot building?" I said, I'll have to check. He said, don't bother, you're using 173,000 square feet of space and paying for 43,000 square feet. He said, I'm sending my jet up to Mount Hope Airport. So I drive my car up and I get on Jacob's private jet with a pilot and two of these airline stewardesses, and they serve me breakfast like I'm a big shot. Well, remember, I don't have any money, but I'm going down there to buy this warehouse. So we get down there and I buy the warehouse. Big Dick says, I'm going to hold a mortgage for 100%. Will you pay the mortgage? And I said, well, the one thing I've got integrity, and number two, I can outwork anybody, so I'm going to pay the mortgage on that warehouse. Good. So just as I'm leaving, I get up and I said, Dick, the building needs a new roof. And he said, that's good. Put a new roof on it. And I said, I don't have any money. He said, deal's off. So I go out to the airport to get back on the private jet, and the pilot comes to me and says, Big Dick says you're walking. And I was mad, but I learned something here. I learned perseverance. 3 months later, the phone rang. It was Dick Jacobs. He says, hey, Fox, I hear you referee in the NCAA. I said, yeah. Any chance of getting tickets to the Final Four in New Orleans? I said, the President of the United States can't get tickets to the Final Four in New Orleans, but let me see. So I called my buddy, Al McGuire, who did the TV, and he says, look, I'll get you 2 tickets if the guy doesn't mind sitting on the floor with me while I broadcast the game. So I called him and I said, I got you 2 tickets to the Final Four. And he says, and I'm putting a new roof on that warehouse and you own it. I need to finish with Marie's evaluation of this presentation. Marie evaluated this presentation for me last week, and she said, Ron, in a 20-minute speech, you missed several opportunities to sit down and shut up. I'm out of here.